Nisrin, in recent weeks and months, we've seen that there are Sudanese refugees returning home, even displaced people trying to get back to their communities. What do you see as being a way for this conflict to end? Is there an initiative that international actors could be taking to enable folks to resume their lives in Sudan? What needs to happen to end this conflict?
I mean, that's a great question. I think, there have been kind of high-level negotiations recently in July that were U.S.-led that failed. And I think part of the reason these high-level negotiations fail is because the U.S., the UAE, Saudi Arabia, and I believe it's maybe the U.K. are the ones leading these processes. And they were doing so after the coup as well. They were trying to sort of bring Sudan back onto the path towards democratic elections. And instead what they did is they legitimized and propped up the war leaders. And so far, these high-level negotiations have only served to prolong the war, to kind of give them a slap on the wrist, but allow them to continue. So I think really what needs to happen is at that level, we need to stop legitimizing these war criminals and center the people on the ground, like the emergency response rooms, like the resistance committees, the civilians who are really fighting for peace, right? Sustainable peace and survival. We need to center them in coming up with a solution for how to end this war. They have ideas about what that looks like. They've even put out statements about it. And so for me, as somebody sitting in the diaspora, I look to the people most impacted by the war to come up with ways out. Now, I think the main thing, though, is that we need to stop the funding and the ways that people are profiting off this war, and to really highlight the role of these external actors before we can get to a ceasefire. So I think that's why divestment and sort of pressure on the external actors, giving them bad PR, highlighting their role in the media, for example, can actually go a long way in also forcing them to make concessions and to create the conditions for a ceasefire to be a possibility.
You've been listening to a clip of In Bed with the Elephant with me, your host, Adrian Harewood. Be sure to check out the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon, iHeartRadio, and YouTube. And please be sure to like and subscribe to the podcast and write a review. We love hearing from you.